To apply to veterinary school, students must complete undergraduate coursework, typically encompassing 60 to 80 hours of college credit. Working or observing experience in the veterinary medical profession is required by most colleges of veterinary medicine prior to acceptance. You can major in any degree program as long as you complete the required courses for admission to the veterinary colleges. The average GPA of students admitted to veterinary college is a 3.5 to 3.6 out of a 4.0 GPA.
I would say the application process, really simple, easy to work through, as long as you give yourself time. The VMCAS service makes it super easy. There's probably like 4 major tabs, and then each one you go down through, knock off stuff on the list, gives you a little check mark when it's finished. Makes it really easy to select programs, which would be your veterinary colleges that you want to send your application to. And then once you select a program, they'll have like supplemental applications, different things that you'll need to do for them. So like VMCAS will send everything that they have to those colleges, and then in addition to that, the colleges that you select might have a couple things that they want you to do. And nothing's too strenuous or hard. Probably the hardest thing for me was the essays, not because like topics were difficult, anything like that, just because like character count, you want to get your point across, but you have like a limited space, so you don't want to leave anything out, but you don't want to like ramble on as well. And they give you plenty of time to get everything finished. It's nothing you should be nervous or scared to do. You shouldn't be intimidated by it. Just take your time and work through it.
I have one of West Virginia's contract seats at Mississippi State, which allows me to receive in-state tuition at that school, since West Virginia does not have a veterinary school of our own. I think it's saved me upwards of $100,000 in my veterinary school career, which is really wonderful. I chose Mississippi State out of the schools I was accepted to because I wanted to go into aquatic medicine. And they have a really robust kind of aquatic program because of the catfish industry in Mississippi, which I didn't end up really following through with that. Mississippi is not a school that requires you to track large animal, small animal. So you're getting large and small animal experience. We have a 2-and-2 program, so you're in the classroom your first 2 years, and then you're in clinics for 2 years. And I found, especially speaking to people from other schools, that it really does help. That extra clinical year really gives you a lot of confidence in how you can perform and how you can think in a hospital compared to a lot of other schools. You're also going to start doing surgeries in your second year, which is kind of unique to Mississippi State. Veterinary schools increasingly are looking for people that are more well-rounded than purely academics. Obviously, GPA does play a part in getting into veterinary school, but they really like to see involvement with clubs. I was in the band. All sorts of extracurriculars. They like to see that. They want to see that you're a person, not just your grades. I actually had a lot of fun during my interview there. You just sit down and you chat with people, essentially. It's a small class size. You really get to know all of your classmates because you're not separated into tracks, so you all get to be pretty close with each other. And the staff will all know you by the time you're a 4th-year student like I am. So, it's just kind of a nice family atmosphere, and it's very relaxed, and I really appreciated that out of a school. That's kind of another reason why I chose to go there.
Students should begin the application process in the spring of the year preceding the desired admission. The deadline for applications at Virginia, Maryland, and Mississippi State is September 15th. Supplemental applications at selected schools may have separate deadlines. Currently, there are 33 American Veterinary Medical Association accredited veterinary colleges in the United States, so entrance is extremely competitive. While the national average acceptance rate for veterinary school is 43%, WVU students have a 73% acceptance rate. There are colleges outside the U.S. which are also AVMA accredited.
I know it's a lot tougher than it used to be. I'll say that, or I can only imagine. From my own experience, it was very competitive, and that was a long time ago. So, with the way things are now, more and more people, who doesn't want to be a veterinarian when they're a little kid? And, there's not that many veterinary schools. Not every state has one. And it's, the application process is tough. There's a limited number of seats, and there's exponential amount of students that want those seats. So, you've got to be, they get to pick and choose, and that makes it tough. I think the big thing now, one of the first things that the application process may look at is just grade point average, which is a big thing. And they're probably relying on that as well as experience, veterinary experience. These accepting committees or application committees, they want to know, do you know what it's like? Have you been there? Have you spent some time with a veterinarian? Maybe in different career choices, but do you know what the day-to-day situation is? It's not all like it is on a TV show on Animal Planet. Maybe it's a little different in real life, and there's probably a lot of applicants out there that don't know what it's like. And that's a little bit unfortunate. So I feel like that's a strong thing. Is, do you know what you're up against? Do you know what it's going to be like once you get that diploma? Do you have an idea of what it's like out there? Not just helping animals, but running a business, taking care of employees, working with a team that you're with every day. So I think that plays a lot in the application process. They want to know, have you put in some hours outside of school to say, what is this like? Is this the field that I want to go into?
According to the survey by the American Veterinary Medical Association, the average starting salaries of veterinary medical college graduates in the U.S. is $73,800. There are approximately 100,000 veterinarians in the U.S.
So I think one of the coolest things about a veterinary medicine career is there's so much opportunity. I think most people kind of think of the small animal veterinarian or the large animal veterinarian going out on farms or seeing dogs and cats, but there's a lot. So part-time I work in I'm in the Army Reserves, which is really cool. We get to work with working dogs and actually work a lot with food safety, which nobody would ever think of as part of a veterinarian's job. Outside of that, there's a lot of opportunity in public health.
My entire childhood was spent declaring that I would never, not ever, ever be a teacher. But I spent 11 years in private practice, and from day one figured out that my job was to educate clients. I worked primarily with farm clients, and so I found that I actually had a knack for doing that. So this position opened here. They were recruiting for a clinical veterinarian to take care of the animals at the university farms and also to teach a few courses, maybe advise some students. And I was surprised when I arrived in 2006 that they were almost appeared to be starving for interaction with a veterinarian on the faculty. And so the academic side of it is that I don't have my hands in clinical private practice every day, but I'm helping get the next generation ready of practitioners to enter the job market. And hopefully they'll be successful in the veterinary curriculum because of their experience here. We have a lot of students who leave here wishing that they could join an academic unit because they realize the value of teaching. And I think that's a good thing because they already have it in their minds that as veterinarians, they are educators, especially in private practice. It's an ongoing process. Every day. Go to work and teach someone.
There are large animal vets, mixed animal practitioners, zoo vets, researchers, military veterinarians, agricultural, the USDA, everything you buy at the grocery store that come from an animal has been inspected at one point or another by a veterinarian, hopefully, before you take it home. So, and certainly specialists, going on after veterinary school and being specialized in a certain area, whether it's dermatology, ophthalmology, orthopedic surgery, neurology, you name it, there's a specialty for it, and those are valuable positions. That's where people like me send cases that I can't figure out, much like our general doctor or family practitioner might say, you need to take the next step here. I need to refer you. I really think career opportunities are endless once you get into veterinary school and decide which path you want to take. I wouldn't change the path I took for anything. I love what I do every day. And no 2 days are the same, so it's a lot of fun.